Hey all, it's time for Jason's Thoughts. Well, tomorrow is March 8th, 2022, which is International Women's Day. And so I thought it would be fitting to share a story of two women that made an absolute incredible impact on me in my life as a leader, as a father, as a husband, as a friend, as a human. Although I could share many women that have made such an impact on me in every element of my life. In the interest of the time, I'm going to stick with these two. First is my mother. You know, I lost my mom last year to her second bout of cancer. Sadly, it was in remission, but snuck its way back, and the world was robbed of a beautiful human. But that wasn't her legacy. She came from humble beginnings and, had to make some tough decisions in her life to get to a better spot for her family and for her children. And that's kind of what made me just think she was so amazing. She started her life out in the 70s, young, full of heart, traveled the world, met her partner, had 3 children, and then, like many, her husband lost his job and they had to figure things out. So she made the decision to go back to school, even though having 3 kids, one with Down syndrome that had lots of needs to travel to another city to get checked out and be helped medically, she still decided nursing was the best thing for her. And so she put herself through schooling while working as much as she could, and also had to move away to finish her degree, but also start her new career in the new place they're going to live. She worked on the kids ward and then worked in community health around mums and babes and everything in between that had to do with kids. And the thing about her that I took away most was that she had no mask. She had no work mask. She just was who she was. She was genuine. She also didn't profile. She didn't assume the worst of people. She always gave people a chance, no matter what the situation was, what the story was. And she cared. She never stopped caring. She always wanted to do what she could for anybody. Didn't matter. If they needed a hand up, she was there to pick them up. She was, by definition, love. Anybody that was around her, anybody that was near her, anybody that worked with her or was impacted by her, there was always a glow of love. Obviously, as my mother, there are many, many more things that she did for me and taught me. But really, being genuine and humble was definitely number one takeaways for me. The second is her mother, my grandmother, GGB. And she is definitely the definition of courage, hard work, and when the chips are down and when you think you've got it bad, to keep pushing, keep fighting, keep working, and keep moving forward. She's still with us today, and I'm so grateful for that, because even over the age of 90, she still embraces learning. She embraces new technology. She goes to university for different classes to keep herself sharp with music and arts. She goes out to opera. She travels, even by herself. This coming from a woman who tragically lost her first husband after having 3 kids way back when, and had no career and had to make tough choices because now she was a widow of 3 children. she also decided to put herself through nursing school and had to make some tough decisions on the way to get there. But she did it. She was a successful nurse for many, many years and retired a nurse. And along the way, she found a new husband who was my Grandpa Bud, also an amazing man that I love dearly. And tragically, through some challenges in medical, we also lost him unexpectedly and far too young. And although she definitely was her life partner, it took some time to grieve, of course. But she did. She did it again. She got back up. She knew that she had life to live, meaning to live, and more to give. And so she found her way and continued living. Now, to this day, I tell her how inspiring she is. Anyone that meets her is like, what? She finished having a hip surgery and came to visit me where there was some snow. And she said, let's go tobogganing. I said, Grandma, it's like 2 weeks since you had your hip surgery. If the family ever finds out, they're going to be pissed at us. And she looked at me and she said, well, I don't care. I want to go tobogganing. And as you might imagine, she is a bit of a stubborn woman. Well, it's one of the things I love about her. We definitely went down that toboggan, even though she had a cane to get up the hill. She came down and it was all smiles and screams. But anyways, the things that I learned the most from Grandma is that even when the chips are down, even when you think you're at your breaking point and things could never get worse, you have a decision to make. You can let it knock you down. You can let those moments define you. You can stay sad. You can hide away in a cocoon and cabin and never see the light of day again. But that's not living life. Those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments that you find within yourselves to really tell you how strong you are and keep you going and keep you fighting and keep you pushing, because life is tough. But those moments, they won't last forever. So as I said, I could go on forever and ever. There's so many women in my life that I'm so blessed to know, to be family with, to be friends with, you name it. But those two will always be near and dear to my heart. And forever in my thoughts. For International Women's Day, I hate things defined by a day. But I'm still going to share this video on that day. But if you have a special woman in your life, maybe it's a leader, maybe it's family, someone that has helped you and picked you up when you were down, or just been inspiring, that beacon of hope, don't leave it to one day. Share it as it comes. Share it unexpectedly. Share it maybe when they're down, or when they need to hear some words of wisdom that they once shared with you. It's just one day, but really it should be 365 days a year, every day of your life, that we highlight these great women in our lives and make sure they know it and share that feedback with them. Thanks all. Happy International Women's Day to all the amazing women out there. Take care. Be kind. Talk soon.